We bought this property back in 2020 without any prior experience or knowledge about anything to do with farming or homesteading. I feel like my darling and I have learned an unimaginable amount of stuff. It all started really with us learning a little bit about how the agricultural industry operates, how they treat their animals, what they're injecting the animals with, you know, like antibiotics or steroids or something. Those are the two most common. And thinking that we ought to live a little bit more of a sustainable lifestyle. That comes with a lot of learning. We're talking building things, you know, what kind of amenities to include in the building structures for the animals, thinking about water, thinking about what to feed them, how to harvest some of them. That's pretty amazing. This whole area right here, I'm going to turn into a compost pile, so I need to learn so much about compost, how to do it, the browns and the greens. It's science. The Hidden Spring Farm is a 90-acre property. It's quite vast, and we've slowly been transforming this property into our forever homestead. We built some animal structures. We built a huge garden. We planted a permaculture orchard. We planted a blueberry patch. We have ducks, we have chickens, we have geese, rabbits, a couple of farm dogs, and now we have a mini pig. In 2 years' time, I think we've come a long way to becoming real life homesteaders.
What are you doing? What are you doing, piggy? You okay? You okay?
It's hard to believe that a couple years ago, the first animal that we got on the farm was ducks. Overall, our experience with ducks has been pretty great. I'm very satisfied and I'm very happy that we raise ducks here. In a lot of ways, ducks are a lot easier than chickens. That's why we ended up building this 30-foot run for the ducks to make it easier on me. So it's not so much work to do, because you know, homesteading is an awful lot of work. If you're looking to get into any kind of homesteading, tons of work. You never have any free time for nothing. But I built this amazing duck house for the ducks. They have a run, they go in and out, and it keeps the housing relatively clean. Whereas chickens just have a tendency to poop on everything, and they jump and they climb up on the perches and they climb up on the windowsills, and the ducks don't really do that. The ducks are always pooping on the ground. Hey buddy, how are ya? How are ya? You okay? How's my best bud? You okay, buddy? Truffles? Molly, you checking the ducks? You checking the ducklings? Ducks, you okay? The two yellow ducks. They're still doing okay, and they're getting huge. One of them got a little bit of a messed up bill. If you look right on the tip there, it's kind of messed up. I think he was squishing his face into the wood of the coop, trying to get away from me, no doubt. See how they're kind of huddled all together there? There's some bigger ones, and then there's some tinier ones. I find that's a huge difference between ducks and chickens too, because when they're ducklings, it's not an issue about the pecking order. You know, there's bigger ducklings here that are like a month and a half old, and there's also some ducks that are only a week and a half old, and there's a big, huge size discrepancy, but it doesn't matter. They don't bother each other. They just all flock together and they live harmoniously. Chickens, on the other hand, have a pecking order, and if you put the big chicks in with the small chicks, the big chicks will pick on the small chicks for sure. How you doing, Piggy? Hey, come on. Come on, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. She gets along with the dogs pretty good. But me, you know, I'm able to scratch her on the back a little bit, but then she runs away. So we're going to give her a bit more time. And every single day I try to trick her with the food. And she's doing really great, though. It's really funny the way she jumps up on the dogs. Like, I don't know what she's trying to do. But she's very comfortable with the dogs. And she's rubbing her head in and around their hair because I think she's never seen a shaggy, hairy animal before. Pretty cool though, eh? Like, who knew that I would ever have a pig? A mini pig. Fair warning out there, folks. Homesteading is ridiculously expensive. I mean, you gotta have some kind of a plan. We invested in this tractor 2 years ago. Tractor's almost paid off. We have a whole bunch of other equipments like the log splitter, the mule. You know, I got a lawn tractor to cut the grass. It's important for one to pace themselves. You know, you don't want to just go and blow all your money in one shot. So what we did is we bought one piece of equipment on finance, like this tractor. Then we bought a couple other smaller things, one at a time. And I mean, as you acquire more and more equipments, you know, your burden becomes less, obviously. Like this tractor's almost paid off. Now I'll have a tractor practically for the rest of my life, and I don't have to worry about making payments, only worry about the maintenance. Another thing about homesteading is you better be prepared to put in the work. Who the heck can afford not to work? But the animals' feed is getting very expensive. And the reality is, this is a lifestyle choice. The amount of money that you make selling some of the things here on the homestead does not cover the cost of food. One bag like this of chicken food is $25. So you got to be committed. Like us, we're committed 100%. We realize that a lot of what we're doing is more like a hobby versus, you know, a business type. Nobody can homestead full time. You have to work to supplement your income. You know what I mean, folks? Luckily for me, I'm a hard worker by nature. I feel like I can't stop, you know, like I always need to do some kind of project. That's why the homestead life is for me. So if you're thinking that the homestead life might be for you, you better realize that it's a lot of work. Now this bulk poultry feeder is one of the first things that I built to make my life easier on the farm. This is the 4th bag of feed that's fit into this thing. That's not too bad. 4 bags. I won't have to feed the ducks for at least 2 months. Those are the little things that you can do on a homestead to make your life easier, you know, to give yourself less chores and less work. Because I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. So you have to be smart the way you set up your homestead. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice to the rabbits, okay? One of the things about being on a homestead is you have to deal with a lot of poop. Now in this case right here, this is rabbit poop. So there's really no odor and it's not really that bad. We do have the mama rabbit with the baby bunnies in the new bunny barn. And I try not to disturb them quite often, but I haven't checked the babies in a few days, so we better get in here now. You okay? You okay, Mama? What are you doing? You're okay. Look at the babies. Look at the babies. How you doing there, kid? How you doing there, kiddo? You okay, Mama? You're not mad at me? Hey, you guys are all escaping. Get back in the nest. That's what I get for checking on those babies. I shouldn't even bother them. See, they're all jumping out of the nest. They're so big already. Jeez, they just gave birth like not even a week ago. That's crazy. I think these geese escaped again. Geese, what are you doing, guys? How did you get past the gate? Get back in there. Get back. Jeez Louise. It's my own fault for not electrifying it, but it's only temporary, and I'm hoping this fall I'll be able to set up some permanent fencing down there to make that a bit easier on me so the geese won't escape. As the gardening season winds down, it's time to prepare ourselves for the harvest. Our growing season here in Ontario is quite short. We typically plant or sow seeds in late May, depending on the harvest date of each individual vegetable. We can grow pretty well until September, and then the temperature drops and it's time to pack it in for the year. We're just here in the garden. Darlin's here doing a little bit of weeding, and I mean, we have a little bit of harvesting to do. There's some tomatoes that have been ripe, and you know, it feels really good to be able to produce and eat some of our own food. Let me just show you around here quick. All our beds are looking really full. We got a bunch of lettuce that's growing really nicely. Really nicely. We got our green beans. You know, they're getting a lot of little flowers. So we should be getting some veggies on them soon. Look at these over here. This entire bed right here is okra. And this entire bed is more lettuce. It's beautiful looking lettuce. It's like some of it is ready to harvest already. So we're going to be harvesting some of this today because it's fresh, really fresh. And what better than a salad with fresh lettuce and veggies that you took out of your own garden that you grew yourself. It's an amazing feeling, I tell you. And over here, the cucumber's doing really good. So a little bit more time, we should be seeing some little tiny gherkin cucumbers. Got some really good tomatoes growing there. The only trouble is all of our tomatoes, I don't have any way to hold the plant. You know, I have a few of these I don't know what they're called. They're just like stakes, you know, that help the tomato plant grow like a tomato ring. And I don't have enough of them at all. I don't even know if that's the best way, because I'll need many of those. But that's just something I'll have to work on for next year. Some of these tomatoes are doing okay now. They started off the year pretty rough, but look at the size of this one. It's pretty much as tall as my shoulders, and I'm 6'3", so these plants are probably about 5.5 feet tall. And there's a lot of fruits on these, so give it a couple more weeks. We're gonna have some great cherry tomatoes. Just come on over here, I'll show you the pumpkins quick. I saw there was a bunch of pumpkins that really sprouted up so fast. Look at that pumpkin. It's already turning a little bit orange. It's a little small one right there. It's really small though. It's like the size of an apple. If you see on the same plant, there's another one in there. And look at this vining. Look at it. It's so long. And if I trace it all the way to the stub, I don't see any pumpkins except right here. See, there's one pumpkin right here, eh? There's another orange one right here. See the orange? It's pretty small though. It's already turning orange. We do have a bunch of different varieties in here. I think there's 3 different varieties, and one of them is a smaller variety. Look at the size of this vine. It's like 8 feet long. But there's no pumpkins on it though. I lied. There is a pumpkin right here. Look. Yes. I'm a pumpkin grower now. I never thought I'd be growing my own pumpkins in my whole life. I mean, I can't even walk in there right now. I wonder how many pumpkins are in there. This is awesome though. I'm gonna have to learn when to harvest these suckers. Ah, there's Fozzie. He's following me to the pumpkin patch. It's a great feeling to harvest when you've put in so much hard work all summer long, maintaining, weeding, watering, cultivating, loving, and finally you get the reward of your harvest. It's hard to believe that this is only our 2nd year gardening, and we've come a long way. The garden still has a little ways to go though. I figure 2-3 more years before we get this garden right where we want it. Tell me what you think in the comments down below as to what you think of our first 2 years on the farm and how we're doing and anything that we can improve on. We think we're well on our way to becoming real life farmers. If you're interested and you want to see all the things that happened on the farm in a nice episode summarizing our 2 years on this property, click the link below and you'll be able to keep on watching. Thanks so much.